Teaching your kids about money, well, it can be tricky, right? You need some help. Cyprus Credit Union has some great ideas. And Dave, there's a difference between teaching kids and teaching the kids as they're going off to college, right? And in between.
Yeah, there are different strategies. A lot of times you're trying to build that foundation when they're younger. As they get older, right, in their teenage years, you're trying to teach them independence and preparing them to be out on their own, manage their own finances. But there's a lot of things you can do for that in-between stage. A lot of people call them your tweens, that you can help them to be able to kind of bridge that gap between fundamentals and independence.
So for those tweens, first step is give them more responsibility.
Yeah, this is an age where likely they're getting their first income of some level, whether that's getting some allowance, or maybe they're on the older side of being a tween and they're starting to babysit. But as they start to get that money in, give them some responsibility. Now, this isn't telling them to take on a bill or anything like that, for the house, but maybe if they love video games, you buy the video game console, but any games they want, they need to save up and purchase on their own. So that's going to give them some ideas of what they'll have to start managing. It'll help them to start realize the beginnings of a budget with having to manage their own budget.
Exactly. Okay. And those honest conversations, you've got to have them.
Yeah, I think this doesn't mean, sit down and talk to them about every financial issue that you're facing, but it's a good time to really bring them in and start to help them to see cause and effect of money. Like, say, for example, they're asking, why does so-and-so get to go on this family trip and we don't get to go on that type of thing? Talk to them about prioritizing. Talk to them about, these are things we're saving for. Everybody has different financial goals. Share some of your goals. Say that these are our goals they're doing here. Do you think we should change around these goals? And let them get involved in that process. Have those conversations. Let them see that as to use a common term, money doesn't grow on trees. That you really have to look and say, here's what we have. Where do we want it to go? And then how can we align our behaviors to get to where we want it to be?
That leads perfectly into having them make their own goals.
Yeah. That's when part of having those conversations with them is talking about what they want to do in the future. Maybe they want to buy a car. That's what my 12-year-old wants to do right now. She knows that she wants to buy a car one day. And so she's now saving with that in mind. And so if they have a bigger goal, whether that's a car, or maybe they want to help pay for their own college, or, they have some of those things in mind, then as they earn money and they're thinking of where will I spend it, they have that big goal in the back of the head of, well, I could use my money here, or I could use it towards here, or I can split it. I can maybe do a little less of what I want to do now, which allows me to put a little bit more into where I want my future to go.
And last but not least, Dave, open a checking account for them.
Yeah, as they have their jobs, as they're building goals, as they're starting to build that money, they're also probably starting to spend more money. And you want to start to teach them now that, checking account is a lot safer than having their money in their wallet or in their pocket and just cash bills, right? So if they're opening a checking account, you can actually get them a debit card. There's things that you can make sure that are on there that they're not allowed to go negative. They only use the money that's there, but it keeps their money more secure, and it starts to teach them how to use that in the future. Another great thing is, here at Cyprus, we've got tons of notifications and other things that parents can set up so that you as a parent could be notified. If you still need to be hands-on with their finances, it will notify you if they're spending over a certain amount, right? You'll get a notification that they made that purchase. You can be notified if their balance drops below a certain point. So that's going to allow you to start to really take all the lessons we've talked about today and just kind of build on there and help prepare them for as they start to earn more money and get towards their financial independence.
Dave, my parents would have loved that feature back in the day. Know my finances. All right, Dave, if they want more information, your website.
Yeah, cyprusu.com. We've got tons of great resources for parents who are looking to teach their kids about finances.
Awesome. See you in a couple of weeks, Dave.
Hey, we'll see you later.